Happy holidays to you. Welcome to NTV at 1. My name is Gladys Gachanja. Now, the impeachment proceedings of Governor Mike Sonko at the Senate has entered its second day today, with the governor being given a chance to defend himself against accusations leveled against him. Governor Sonko has termed the accusations against him as pure politics and character assassination. We are now joined by Vincent Odur from Parliament, and he tells us about the proceedings in details. Vincent?
Exactly. Today, it was Governor Mike Sonko's day to really present his evidence to try and discount all the accusations that have been leveled against him. And through his legal team today, the governor was allowed to really, together with other 4 witnesses, and him in person, to testify and try to defend himself. And a number of things really came up in the morning, because, you know, when it came to witnesses, the governor had earlier wanted to have 7 witnesses, but that is something that the other party really opposed, and the speaker only allowed him to have 4 witnesses together with him as a witness himself. And the governor is saying that all the things that the MCAs who impeached him at the Nairobi County Assembly basically did that based on politics, and also trying to finish him politically. And the governor insisting that really he will be able to exonerate himself by the end of today. What is happening is that from now, the governor was presenting his evidence, and then thereafter, between now and 1:30 p.m., we are expecting to have the senators seek clarification and request for clarification from the speaker. And then in the afternoon session, from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m., we are going to have a closing statement on behalf of the county assembly for 60 minutes. And then from 3:30 to 4:30, we are going to have another closing statement on behalf of the governor himself for another 60 minutes. And then from 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., that is when the House or the members or the senators are going to deliberate on the matter, and the session is going to be closed. It will be a closed door session. And thereafter, at exactly 6:30 p.m., that is when now the voting exercise will start, whereby voters or whereby the senators will vote to either reject or accept the resolution of the Nairobi County Assembly to impeach the governor. And in that session, basically it requires maybe at least, 24 senators out of the 47 elected senators to be able to just vote to uphold at least one of the 4 charges facing the governor. And if that happens, then the governor will stand impeached. And for the governor to survive, he requires 24 senators on his side to be able to throw out all the charges that have been presented by the Nairobi County Assembly. And therefore, today is a D-Day. And you remember yesterday's session ended at 9 p.m. And therefore, we don't know really if this is going to end by 6:30 p.m. Most probably, maybe it will go into the night. But let me just let you listen to what transpired during yesterday's session, whereby the members of the Nairobi County Assembly took stand to defend their case, why Governor Sonko should really go home.
Here we find him flying his daughter to the United States of America to attend the First Lady's conference. The problem here is, number one, the daughter is disguised as an award administrator. Besides that, Mr. Speaker, sir, the daughter flies in a first class to New York, costing the taxpayer 840 million Kenya shillings. We find the governor's daughter being hired for a chopper at a cost of 220,000 Kenya shillings to go around New York City to see how beautiful the city was. She goes ahead to have an offside party at a cost of 260, using public funds.
260 what? Kindly
60,000. We find the governor's daughter being hired for a chopper at a cost of 220,000 Kenya shillings to go around New York City to see how beautiful the city was.
Just because a lot of colleagues that are supposed to make that decision are blackmailed into submission. A lot of them are harassed. We had people in the county assembly that have actually been beaten, bodily harm, in our presence at the county. We have statements like, what do you make of your boss that calls you at 2 a.m. in the night? What is that apart from harassment? And they want you to answer questions. You don't know whether they are in their right frame of mind. They're surrounded by people. People are laughing at you. He's hurling all manner of insults at you. Wewe toka hapa wewe nimelala hata na wewe. Wewe toka. It is not right.
Well, as you know, it's day 2 of those proceedings, or rather impeachment hearing at the Senate, and we'll keep you updated on the same in our subsequent bulletins. Now, to other day stories, and the final send-off for the late Joseph Nyagah will be at his Kamutungi village in Mbeere, South Embu County. Confirming the funeral arrangements, the family says they have agreed to rest Joe on Saturday. ACK Nairobi Bishop, retired Reverend Joel Waweru, will lead the funeral service at the late Joe's homestead. Now, the younger brother to the deceased Norma Nyagah revealed that Joe had passed away from COVID-19 complications, adding that his lungs were 97.7% damaged and would not have survived without a ventilator. Joe was admitted at the ICU Nairobi Hospital on November the 17th until December 11th when he died. He will be laid to rest next to his parents, grandfather and the late brother Zachariah Nyagah.
The journey has been long. The family has lost our leader, but we have accepted that at some point, as the Bible says, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, that there is a time and a season to everything. This was the time for Joe to go and reunite with his maker. All I do, pray and wish, is that he had reconciled with his maker like I have done, that any day when I go, I hope Joe had reconciled.
Elsewhere, religious leaders from Nakuru are calling on the government to intervene in the ongoing health workers' strike that has affected the access of health services in several counties across the country. The leaders say patients who cannot afford to pay for treatment in private medical facilities have been abandoned due to the ongoing strike among the nurses and clinical officers. And with the doctors threatening to down their tools in the coming days, the religious leaders are asking the government to resolve the strike and save the lives of millions of Kenyans who depend on health services from public facilities.
Kama kutakuwa na hii maneno ya corona, watu wetu watatibiwa wapi? Na zaidi ya hayo, bado magonjwa mengine yako, malaria, pneumonia, hii yote. So mimi naomba serikali ichukue jambo hili kama jambo la dharura na iweze kuongea na madaktari ili waweze kurudi kazini mara moja, ili watu wetu wasikufe ovyo ovyo. Nasema maneno ya BBI pia ni ya haja, lakini adui ambaye anaitwa ugonjwa, vifo imekuja. Sasa tusiweke hiyo maneno ya BBI mbele sana. Na ni haja pia tunataka iwepo, lakini kwanza tuangalie hii watu wetu wasikufe.
And to some distressing news of another kind, a somber mood has engulfed Nabiswa village along Trans Nzoia and Uasin Gishu County after a 14-year-old girl was defiled and murdered by unknown people. Mary Erusa, a pupil of Nabiswa Primary School, went missing yesterday after her parents had sent her to buy cereals in the market. This is the 5th victim of rape and murder in the area, a situation that has led to great concern among residents.
A desperate search led this community here, staring at a mysterious bag. The contents of the bag will break their hearts and ultimately end their search. The discovery was, however, a bitter pill to swallow, more so for the family and friends of 14-year-old Mary Erusa.
Tukafungua, tukakuta wamerepu mtoto na walinyonga mtoto. Sasa ile kitu naomba serikali tusaidie.
Mary's obedience and well-mannered nature appeared to have sealed her fate, but even in death, her parents spoke highly of her.
Kwa sababu ya shughuli yenye tunafanya hapa sisi wote na huyu mtoto, Mary namwambia Mary wewe enda huku, mimi naye niende huku. Mary jioni washa moto, Mary nichote maji.
Mtoto nilimuita Moise Bridge, nikampea magunia 20 na kamba ya kushona, alete nyumbani, mahindi kishakauka waweke mahindi. Na mimi nilikuwa naenda kazi kuchukua mahindi mahali pengine. Sasa wakati ilifika saa 7 nikapiga simu. Mtoto alifikisha magunia. Watoto yao wakasema mtoto hakufika mpaka saa hii. Ndio nikawaambia waanze kutafuta mtoto.
This is not the first incident of such nature to be reported. There seems to be a serial killer on the loose in Moise Bridge. The uproar that followed was not just an expression of mourning, but also a demand for action from the relevant authorities.
Kwa sasa tunakadiria ni kama watoto 5 ambao wamepitia mambo kama haya, kunyongwa, kuuawa, kunajisiwa, kisha kufichwa ama kutupwa mahali ambapo ni vigumu sana kutambuliwa mahali walipo.
Tumeshika watu wako kotini. Na nataka kutoa onyo kwa wale ambao wanafikiria wanahesabika kwa visa kama hizi. We shall involve even a team from Nairobi to come investigate, because if there's anybody who is a mastermind of all these sins, he must be dealt with.
At the Omega's residence, the silence is deafening. The blank expression on the faces of the late Mary's relatives tells it all. A family in shock, trying to wrap their minds around the inhumane action meted on one of them. What is more scary and hard to ignore is that Mary may remain just an entry of criminal statistics if the mystery of the rapes is not resolved and the perpetrators brought to book. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
May justice be served. Now, elsewhere, residents of Athi River town have accused several industries in the area of heavily polluting the environment through untreated effluents and releasing emissions that pollute the air, even as the authorities remain mum. Among the notorious pollutants are giant battery manufacturer, Associated Battery Manufacturers East Africa ABM, Apex Steel Mill Limited, and Athi River Mining Limited. Residents accuse them of discharging black, smelly effluents into the stormwater drainage systems. At ABM, our crew recorded a thick, dark smoke bellowing out of a chimney into the air, a situation said to worsen at night. Efforts to get a comment from the factory as well as Machako's governor, that is Alfred Mutua, proved futile, with the governor only promising to dispatch a team.
Betty, pia wananunua hizi second hand batteries, wana recycle. Unajua katika process ya kutengeneza acid ndio hutumika kwa wingi. Ni maji baya na kuaga na sumu, hata hii kuikananga mguu wenyewe ama kuishika hivi maji yenyewe na kumbambuaga ngozi.
Hii maji yenye inatoka kwa kampuni kwa sababu inaenda kwa mto, na hiyo mto ndio tunategemea kwa usafi na kunyunyuzia pia mimea huku maji. Kama kuna venye inaweza treatiwa, isikuwe inaenda hiyo waste upate ati inaingia kwa maji direct ikiwa kama chemical. Na pia waangalie pia hiyo harufu yenye inanuka na hiyo moshi inaachiliwa, kuna venye pia haina affect watu.
To some agricultural news, and coffee farmers in Githunguri constituency, Kiambu County, have protested over alleged embezzlement of funds and mismanagement of the Komodai Coffee Growers Cooperative Society. In a demonstration, they saw them close down the society offices and gates using welding equipment. The angry farmers accused the management of lack of transparency and accountability in managing their finances. New regulations in the sector dictate that coffee farmers should get 80% of the gross earnings, while cooperative societies, marketers and millers receive 20%. The farmers who vowed to keep watch at the society headquarters until their grievances are met called on Agriculture CS Peter Munya to intervene and help them access their dues.
Sasa hivi tunataka wawe wakitufungulia account, kila factory ipate account yao, alafu pesa yetu iwekwe 100% kwa bank.
Tumekasirika kiasi cha kwamba hatuwezi tena kuvumilia sub county cooperative officer kuendelea kuwanyanyaza wakulima wa kahawa kwa kudirect management committee vile itakuwa ikikawa pesa. Last year tuliona ya kwamba tulilipwa sisi wakulima tulilipwa 49%, hiyo pesa ingine yote ilichukuliwa na management ikiongozwa na chairman.
Ile ufisadi iko hapa ni giza tupu. Hakuna mtu anaruhusiwa kuuliza swali, na ukienda kuuliza swali hawa watu wote wako, umesikia kama Gadhirini wako na kesi kotini, Gachanja wako na kesi, wanastakiwa, Kaibu wamefukuzwa. So hata directors wale tumechagua katika hizo factories wamekuwa intimidated na wamestuliwa mpaka ya kwamba kila mtu anaogopa kuuliza swali yoyote.
We take a short break on NTV at 1. We'll be back with much more. Stay with us.
Jana ulipotea hivyo pata ya kupepa ule mtemu kwa potapoto ukaenda hivi.
Unajua huyo mrembo alinipeleka hadi kwa nyumba. Nikasema mimi siedi kugulalisha masikio. Nikatapa shughuli.
Jamaa mbona mjipendi?
Kwa nini?
Yaani unawezaje patana tu na mtu kwa street alafu uende ukachapiane naye?
Kalishizo mashine.
Ulitumia raba eh?
Kwani bado mnatumia raba?
Okay, ngoja niulize jamaa. Nani hapa hivi amepimwa hivi majuzi?
Pale kwa Mwangi. Si ni 10 bob.
Sijasema kupimwa weight. Saa hizi kupimwa HIV ni haraka na ni bure. Unaweza pimwa kwa clinic na bado unaweza jipimia kwa nyumba yako wewe mwenyewe na self test kit 500 peke yake.
Niende nipimwe, nichipate niko positive. Unajua hakuna kitu naogopa kama hiyo.
Kuko na madawa na kuko na counseling na utaishi maisha yako normal tu. Kuko na HIV si eti ni mwisho.
Wewe uko nayo?
Mimi nilishapima.
Unapoendelea kujikinga kutokana na HIV, tafadhali zingatia taratibu zote za serikali za kujikinga na virusi vya corona.
Hivi, afya bora, maisha bora. Jipime, jiinue.
This Christmas, jaza kwa sababu there's a whooping 1 million bob to be won. All you have to do ni kupiga shopping worth 1,500 and above. Na uko ndani ya draw. Krisi, ipambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
Experience the all-new PesaPop app from Family Bank. Enjoy a fresh new look with simplified navigation, access instant loans, save and earn interest, pay your bills, send and receive money locally and abroad, buy airtime and so much more. Download PesaPop app and make your banking convenient, easier and faster. PesaPop ni pesa bila stress. Family Bank, with you for life. Family Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Quickmart wamesema wacha troli isuffocate, wacha troli ichoke. Jaza, kwa sababu there's a whooping 1 million bob to be won. All you have to do ni kupiga shopping worth 1,500 and above, na uko ndani ya draw. Krisi ipambe na Quickmart. Quickmart, fresh and easy.
Thank you for staying with NTV at 1. Now, women carters in Kajiado County have been challenged to engage in income-generating activities to end female genital mutilation. In order to eliminate the practice of FGM, various government departments, in collaboration with more community-based organizations, have introduced several income-generating enterprises, among them indigenous tree planting. Hundreds of Maasai women from Enkinya village, Kajiado Central Sub-County, were handed 2,000 indigenous tree seedlings. The women have been urged to embrace tree planting not only as a way to conserve the environment, but also as income-generating avenues.
Sana. Lakini tukimwoza akiwa mdogo tutakuwa tumepata hasara kubwa sana.
Baada ya kila miaka 5 ama miaka 10 tuko na ukame na inamaliza mpaka ng'ombe zetu zinakufa. Tumekuja kujua madhara haya na tukaamua tumekubali kupanda miti.
Sasa ingine ukeketaji na wasichana kuolewa wakiwa wadogo ni kwa sababu wazazi wamekosa kitu ya kula. Lakini tukipanda miti tulete manufaa kwa environment yetu. Hiyo pia inaweza kusaidia kuinua economy.
Still on tree planting, and a drive aimed at improving the poor forest cover in Isiolo County has been rolled out courtesy of a partnership between Equity Bank, the Kenya Forest Service and the Kenya Prisons. The exercise that aims at planting at least 23,000 trees in public spaces kicked off at the Isiolo GK Prison Farm, where 5,000 tree seedlings will be planted. The Kenya Forest Service has plenty of trees at their nursery to give out to members of the public who intend to plant them in their homesteads, but very few Kenyans have taken advantage of the opportunity. KFS has attributed the poor forest cover in Isiolo County to reckless tree felling for purposes of charcoal burning, as locals still view it as a means of livelihood, oblivious of the dangers they pose to the environment.
Tapanda miche 5,000 na kuanzia leo tunaendelea kupanda kwa mashule zote hapo karibu, na wahimiza wakazi wa Isiolo tuhakikishe tutaungana katika hii harakati ya kupanda miti.
Sisi kama wana magereza tunapenda kubadilisha mazingira.
To help martyrs, and Machakos Matatu Owners Association have launched a fumigation exercise for all PSV buses and matatus belonging to the giant Matatu Sacco. The exercise is aimed at ensuring safety of passengers against COVID-19 pandemic during the Christmas festivities. Now, the association, working with the Machakos County Health Department, have asked commuters to stick to the Ministry of Health guidelines on safety when boarding PSV vehicles to bring coronavirus cases down during this second wave of the pandemic.
During this time, so many people travel and we want to reduce any chance of anyone who might be having COVID-19 to ensure that they don't transmit it to other people.
Tunaomba madereva wetu wawe waangalifu barabarani ili tuweze kuzuia mambo ya ajali.
Now, the government has decried the alarming decrease of wildlife population in the country due to poaching and competing interests like agriculture, human settlement and climate change. Speaking during the launch of a breeding sanctuary that is aimed at restoring the numbers of the endangered mountain bongo antelopes, Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala warned that there was an urgent need for citizens and all stakeholders to upscale their efforts in conserving wildlife wildlife to protect the future of a country's national heritage. Balala said Kenya's wildlife population has been declining with an average loss of 68% over the last 40 years.
We must have space for the bongos. We must have the enough nutrients and food, and then we have to take care of their health in terms of veterinary. So those are the issues that we have put in place so that we don't lose more animals either in captivity or in the wild. But as you're aware that we had antelopes, different species of antelopes who have been endangered, critically endangered. You have been told about the roan antelope, who are number 15 now. They're in Ruma National Park.
And still on tourism, or lack of it, for centuries, a little-known lake in Karachuonyo, Homa Bay County, has sat quietly. Its beauty and potential only known by area residents, including the feathered kind. But NTV's Bernardo Juang reports the locals are blaming the government for neglecting the lake, which, if put to good use, could be a game-changer in the area.
From a distance, Lake Simbi Nyaima in Homa Bay County is blanketed in a glistening white cover, but up close, the magnificent scene is in fact created by the invasion of flamingos. Lake Simbi has been in existence for 6 centuries, but residents say it hasn't been recognized by both the county and national governments.
We've been hosting visitors here. Some are foreign, the white people are coming here. They flock around this lake just picturing the flamingos. If you go to Lake Nakuru, you paid the entrance. Why Lake Simbi Nyaima, you are telling us, is dented and is tax-free?
It has been their long-time prayer that this rich historical site be fenced and the investors pump in their money to build accommodation nearby that will attract tourists to the lakeside.
When we have a project like this, it is upon the government to make sure that it takes off. When it takes off, most of these young men will get employment here. And again, when we collect funds for those who are coming in, we'll still be able to increase our local source revenue, which is not being collected.
And until the government acts, the charm of Lake Simbi Nyaima will perhaps remain a secret only known to residents of Homa Bay and flamingos that settle peacefully on its water.
As you can see behind me, these are flamingos. Good picture there. And of course, as you know very well, historical sites across the country have been generating income and also promoting the economy of the regions where they are. But with this one here, Lake Simbi Nyaima, it has totally generated nothing according to locals. And they're saying they will be fencing it forcefully and start taxing people who will be coming here.
Community are angry because 4-liter jerry can, if you take it to Mombasa, you get over 1,000. But here it is being taken free. If they cannot fence it, they should allow us to charge for the water.
Bernard Ojuang, NTV.
To some sporting action, and half-marathon world record holder Kibiwott Kandie has his eyes set on representing Kenya at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. Despite Kandie's specialty, the half-marathon not a part of the Olympics roster, the 24-year-old is hoping to bring back the country's lost glory in a different discipline.
My target now is to work for Olympics camp 2021. And I know I will make it through my hard work, perseverance, and more so discipline, and nothing impossible. All will be possible. In Olympics, I'll be looking to participate in 10,000, and I know I will make it. What actually motivated me is the training that I have undertook and the races I had competed. It shows a green light that I can make it to break the record.
Now, Roberto Firmino's last-minute header broke